So you're looking out at the city of Chiang Mai, Thailand, and you can see the mountains off in the distance. The entire city is surrounded by mountains. Now, for the last 90 days of my stay here, I haven't been able to see the mountains because the farmers were burning the fields, the rice farmers, and the smoke covers the mountains. But finally, the mountains are in view. And I'm on the fourth floor of the mall in Chiang Mai, Thailand, Central Festival Mall, at a little food court area where people sit down at tables and eat their food. Now, I'm not making this video so you can look at the restaurant, but I'd like to let folks know where I'm at, what it looks like, and what's going on here with me. So we're in the Gospel of Matthew, the 17th chapter, and I've decided to do some videos about mountains in the Bible. At one time I preached an entire series on mountains in the Bible. And this mountain we're going to today is called the Mountain of Transfiguration. Matthew chapter 17. And after 6 days, Jesus taketh Peter and James and John and his brother, and bringeth them up into a high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them. And his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment as white as light. And behold, there appeared unto him Moses and Elisha, talking with him. So Jesus will allow these individuals, these disciples, who are in the inner circle, to behold a sight with human eyes, a spectacular sight called transfiguration. And I want to talk a little bit about the Greek word that's translated transfiguration. It's a compound word, metamorphosized. Meta meaning changed, morphe meaning substance or structure, changing of the structure, of the outward structure of the physical body of the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, I liken this experience to another word in the New Testament called glorification. And that occurs for a believer when a believer dies. You will see it in Romans chapter 8, the whole process of being justified and then ultimately glorified. So something happened to Jesus in his physical body that he wanted this little group, the inner circle of Peter, James, and John, to observe. And that is the total glory of God came upon his physical body. Now, this also related to the Greek word glory, doxa. And doxa has a couple of dimensions to it. It has a thinking dimension to it, meaning when you glorify God, you think the highest of Him. But it also has a physical dimension, and that dimension is that of luminescence, sparkling. In other words, this experience on the mountain was a sparkling experience. Much like in 4th of July when I was growing up, as children we couldn't wait to get sparklers, have our parents light them and then dance around with them in the yard as they sparkle. So back to our text. Now, the physical outward appearance of the face of Jesus will shine as the sun. God is light, and there is no darkness in Him whatsoever. And His clothing also became white. And what's interesting too is in the book of Revelation, the saints that have died and go on into heaven are wearing white robes, the color of purity, the pure light, as being completely white. So the question becomes, why was it that Jesus did this? And there's another answer other than just showing the disciples the whole idea of transfiguration, or I'm going to use the word glorification, of the body and the soul and spirit. There appeared unto him Moses and Elijah. Now Moses, if we can construct some dates, would be at this point maybe 1,500 years old. We don't know the exact dates of when Moses thrived, but it could be as much as 1500 BC, maybe 1300 BC. Now Elijah, maybe 910 BC, maybe 875 BC, somewhere in that range. But basically, if you're going to say how old is Moses right now, approximately 1,500 years of age. How old is Elijah right at this moment on this mountain? Approximately 900 years of age. So if anything, this is telling you that the Old Testament saints, the Old Testament believers, didn't go to some holding ground somewhere so they could be released. They were in the presence of God. Now, notice that Moses and Elijah are talking with him. They are so interested in Jesus that after 1,500 years, Moses is talking with him. Elijah is still so interested after about 900 years. He's still talking with him. Now, the question becomes, how interested are you? How interested am I in talking about Jesus, learning about Jesus, and living for Jesus? Well, anyhow, I wanted to take you up to a mountain, and the best way I can do that is just come to this spot here and put on my zoom lens and try to have you imagine that somewhere off in the distance this is occurring. This transfiguration scene on one of these mountains here. It's around this very interesting city called Chiang, Thailand. Thank you for watching this video. End of video.